So we are back. Cobra Kai Season 2. I am the Grappler 6. He's the Grappler 8. And Season 2, Episode 2. Let's get into this thing. All right, 8, here we go. So, Episode 2. So, first thing that really struck me is Johnny. Johnny getting the Challenger painted. So, he gets this used Dodge Challenger RT from off of Danny's lot. Hopefully it wasn't
a lemon or something.
A lemon, you know what I mean? And it's a 2009 RT. It's by this point it's almost a classic again. But I don't understand like the amount of money he'd have to pay to get that car painted. The crew could have just gave him a Hellcat for Season 2 and could have just called it a day.
Much like the Ocho, I feel like Johnny dives headlong into every project. The one thing I did notice about that is, for a guy who has his meals made for half the time by his neighbor, it's an awful lot of dough he had to sink in to do that. They showed him doing it, but there's no way that was that cheaply done and that by himself. No, that was that cost a pretty penny. I'm sure that could have gone to like 10 months rent or something like that.
And I feel bad for Robbie. I'm starting to get a little bit of sympathy for Robbie. I mean, his mom's just a pile of shit. I mean, she goes off to Mexico with some random scraggly ass dude, barely speaks the language. They're going off to some other country. He has no means of an income. He has no money. He can't pay the rent. He can't pay the electric bill. What is this woman leaving this kid with?
She took her bag of pills. You saw that too, right? And while Robbie's a very calm guy for having this dysfunctional family, I did notice he threatened her boyfriend, who didn't seem too startled by it, too scared. Is Miyagi-Do teaching Robbie to threaten, or was that instinct on protecting his mom? What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I think really it was more of the instinct to protect his mother. One of the rules of Miyagi-Do karate is to protect others.
Sure, so very much
he
so.
Was looking out for his mother right there. I don't see any issue. I don't think Daniel would have any problem with what he did either. So, but good pickup on that, 8. Good pickup on that. So, next we see Sam and Robbie back at the Miyagi-Do dojo, and they're looking to master the wheel technique. And the big thing about the wheel technique is they need to sense what each other is doing.
Mm-hmm.
I remember years back when we were on that board learning that wheel technique, and it's not easy. The balance is not easy on that water.
Right. But for athletes, it's not the most difficult. For uncoordinated folk, it's very hard. I mean, I wouldn't know. I'm an athlete, but I can sympathize.
Sure. And really, you're like a super athlete, to be completely honest. So
what doesn't the Ocho do?
Yeah, I remember you doing actually everything on one leg standing, where I was, I was struggling on two, but you were just over there poked up on one. Very impressive, 8. Very impressive.
Right. But I still could sense when you needed help. That's what we do, the grapplers.
We see Johnny upset, and he tells, after his class kind of clowns off a little bit, and he gets a little embarrassed in front of Mr. Kreese. So, Sensei Kreese. And, so he tells all the students basically meet him the next morning at 2:00 in the morning for the, and they see the cement truck.
Yeah, it was awfully bright for 5 a.m., by the way. Did you notice that?
It was pretty bright for 5 a.m., but, who knows what part of the country they're in.
Good point.
My question to you, though, in that I kept thinking about this and thinking about this and thinking about this. What do you prefer, 8? Do you prefer the cement truck, or do you prefer the wood circle floating on water for training and balance?
Well, I have, I had problems with both, honestly, because the cement truck, you super chance for injury here. Like this is, and you're not turning that big heavy thing anyway, regardless. And these are little scrawny kids that 2 months ago were getting picked on. Remember, now they're black belts in a cement truck. Wasn't too happy about that training technique. It teaches togetherness, but isn't going to work. I had a problem with this wheel thing, not so much for the balance, But what kind of bacteria and mold and crustaceans might have been growing in that pond? That was a pond. That didn't get clean. That didn't have a filter. They're going to get hepatitis, trying to do the balance wheel technique. He couldn't put him in a pool somewhere. That was training-wise. I think each time it's a teachable moment. But OSHA-wise, remember, Occupational Health and Safety Administration, if that's what that stands for, they might have a problem with it. And we're by the book. Remember, you and I, the grapplers, we're above board.
Well, listen, Nate. Sam did show some concern about the water. Daniel did tell her not to worry about it. So if I were you, I wouldn't show too much concern and just kind of get over it. All right.
All right. Well, the Ocho gets upset sometimes. He's a soft guy sometimes, a softie. It's for the kids.
I understand. No, I understand.
Okay.
So Sam, after their training, Sam seems to be, offers Robbie a ride. He declines. Mentions some of the, issues he might be having at home, and Sam is now concerned with Robbie's home life, which again, she's got a big heart. She's a great girl, and I think that her showing that concern really shows what a good person she really is. So, Sam obviously goes to Daniel, expresses that concern as well. And it's heartbreaking the situation they put Robbie in.
Agreed.
Daniel goes to Robbie's place, sees him eating cereal with dirty water coming out of the faucet, no lights on, not even a candle. And Daniel understands, man, and he's there for Robbie. But the reality is, before they can allow Robbie to stay at their house, Daniel needs to reach out to the parents. And obviously,
you got to talk to the parents.
The mom's off in Cabo with some scraggly ass dude. She can't be reached. She didn't put extra calling on her cricket phone to get to another country. So Daniel only has one choice, and that's to try to talk to Johnny about this.
Daniel did the comforting shoulder touch and said, "It's okay." Can we also agree that Robbie's mom is a trillion times worse than Johnny as a dad? Is that an agreement, or am I off base because she's a mom? You tell me.
I agree with you completely, Abe.
All right, good. I feel better about that. I noticed the lantern, and Robbie wasn't prepared, though. Maybe it's not his fault. He's only a young kid, but the Ocho's way prepared. The Ocho has lanterns just like that and 20 other ones. The Ocho is always prepared. The Ocho is very selfish, and he'll spin it back to himself. But let's go back to one thing here that's important. Now, while LaRusso just showed it's great, he's such a caring guy. He wants to help Robbie, eating cereal out of the dirty water, no lights. And, Daniel says he wishes he could teach karate like that, the way he sells cars. Well, here's why. You can't BS teaching karate. I'm not calling him a BSer, but anybody sells 10 cars in only a few hours, they're shysting somebody just by the laws of physics.
All right. Let me clear a couple things up here, Abe, because I'm not sure I like what I'm hearing. Listen. So he sold 5 cars, and his wife sold 5.
Okay.
They didn't do this in a couple of hours. They did this over the span of an 8-hour workday. Okay.
Now, he couldn't have been in 8 hours because, remember, they were teaching.
He was teaching at 4 o'clock in the morning. He got to that dealership by 7 a.m. sharp. He was gone by 6 p.m. sharp, and they had 10 cars sold. You could tell off the board as they were checking them off. Boom,
they were not.
Boom, boom. So, for you to insinuate that Daniel and his wife are shysters, man, I think that might be, look, I think that just might be pushing a little bit much. That's all.
All right. I mean, I want to live where it's bright at 3 a.m. then. That's all. Maybe they're in utopia. So maybe the Ocho was a little off base. But
if you had the kind of money Daniel has, you'd have light at 3 a.m. too.
Why does he have money? Is he a shyster or a good salesman? Well, again, listen, I'm not. You're right. Maybe I gotta be a little more open-minded to this. This is a tough situation.
Maybe just a little bit, and maybe, hey, giving you the benefit of the doubt, Abe, maybe throughout the season we'll see. Maybe he'll sell more cars, and we'll get to hear a little bit of that technique. You never know. I mean, will he be exposed as a con man? Maybe. I don't personally think so. That doesn't seem like anything Daniel would do.
The Ocho doesn't judge, so even the Ocho has lessons he can still learn.
Absolutely. So moving along here, Ocho. So now Miguel, we're fast forwarding. We see Miguel now going over Johnny's apartment and bringing him some food that Miguel's mom was nice enough to make for Johnny, so he doesn't have to eat his hot pockets.
Well, because he spent all his money on the car.
On the car, right?
Food, yeah.
And Miguel discovers a picture, of Johnny's kid, Robbie, on his refrigerator.
Right, from 2010.
What is going on here? And it looks like the kid's playing soccer or something like that. But Miguel is not happy about this. I can tell you that.
Mind blown if I'm Miguel. Mind blown. Remember, he got kind of chewed out for fighting dirty, yet he was taught no mercy.
No mercy.
Johnny decides that it's not no mercy if there's no honor. We need honor. So, kind of like the cement truck thing. Johnny says, I'm still learning. So, for Miguel, who looks up to Johnny, let's be honest, he said, Sensei Lawrence is the reason I'm here in the end of last season.
Sure.
Everybody watch season 1 also, or else you're not going to know what the heck we're talking about. And, so he really looks up to him. So major blow to Miguel and the whole Cobra Kai team, I guess, because he's not going to hold this a secret.
No. And then, for pretty much the last scene, now we see Daniel coming to talk to Johnny, and there he is, walking out with Sensei Kreese. Daniel sees him. He's in shock. They're all outside of the dojo / gas station and
/ liquor store. Yeah.
/ liquor store. Yeah. And I felt for Daniel here, man. It was like seeing a ghost. It was like seeing a ghost.
They all came back. All those feelings. Oh, Boise, Idaho.
Yeah.
But now Daniel, again, being the noble guy trying to get the mom, we agree that the mom is a train wreck compared to Johnny, who has a good heart, but still shows up already mad. Like, if Johnny gives other people the benefit of the doubt, why doesn't Daniel? Is Daniel, he's got the house, he's got the wife, he's got the kids. He's got to open up the brain like the Ocho just did earlier. Just like the Ocho did. So I understand he's noble, but coming in and saying he needs to talk to Johnny, but trying to start stuff and all that. We got to see how this plays out, man. I'm so torn. What do I do here?
Ocho, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I cannot wait for episode 3, guys. That's all we have right now for episode 2. So make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Hey, leave a comment. Let us know what you think as well. And for the Grappler 6, that's the Grappler 8, and we'll see you next time on the Cobra Kai Season 2 review.
Damn it! Subscribe to the Brothers Grappler YouTube channel! Like the video, damn it! Leave a comment, damn it! Share, damn it!